as a self-employed person,
Can't do that, man.
it's hard, man. I feel like it's hard. It's hard for a lot. There's so much benefits to it. Yeah, like I would say a big benefit for me and my life is that technically I can do what I want. I can wake up really when I want. Not necessarily, obviously, when you got jobs or whatever, but like it's just the flexibility of being able to say, yeah, I'm not doing this.
The idea that you can do what you want. But I think people who don't work for themselves mistake that for like, oh, I could wake up at 12 o'clock every day.
Yeah, no.
You can't, because then you're going to miss out on opportunities.
Yeah, and technically
whatever.
you might be contracted to do certain types of jobs and all of these type of things.
You don't have to take that contract, and you could sacrifice that so you could wake up at a later time every day.
You understand?
But that's an opportunity gone.
Yes, exactly.
There is consequences to waking up late.
Yeah, definitely. But it's just the freedom of being able to just like move however I want to move or whatever. Yeah.
For me, it's fulfillment. Like I feel so fulfilled doing my own thing.
Okay.
I don't think anything will ever come close to how fulfilled I feel when I produce work for myself and on my own.
Yeah.
Like the freedom of like doing whatever I want. I don't really care too much for that, to be honest. It's purely the fulfillment inside.
Yeah. It's both. Like
maybe I take it for granted.
I'm gonna get to the fulfillment part in a bit, but like I like that I can technically control the way that I can control where I'm going to a degree. Do you get what I'm saying? And what I'm doing, like, because essentially I'm working for myself. Yeah, which then speaks to the fulfillment thing, because ultimately that makes me feel good that I'm able to, flex, and I'm working on my career, so to speak, and things that I'm interested in or whatever. So those things tie hand in hand, and it's nice that I can like say to myself, you know what, I've been working super hard like the last however many months or whatnot. Things have been quite good. I'm gonna just chill for a couple of weeks. I'm gonna go and do whatever it is that I'm gonna do, and I don't have to go to anyone to find out. Oh, you know what? Is it okay if I can? Is it okay if I can have? Let's just say, use an example. The whole Christmas period, I just want it off. For some people, that is, especially if you're working in retail, which is not a bad thing, by the way.
No, but
if
you're
working in, you like. Off. Imagine you're working in
your face.
If you're working in Nike Town or something like that, and you want Christmas and New Year's Eve off, like you can't book that off.
Yeah,
that's like part of the agreement.
You're gonna have to quit if you want that off.
Yeah. That's like part of the agreement. You have to do that. Yeah. So it's like those type of things are kind of like, yeah, I can do that, but the downside in it is sometimes the mentality that you can find yourself in by controlling your career and doing what you want and like working on your career.
I think there's two extremes to that.
You feel like, for me, there was like a long period of time where I actually did not want to go on any holidays, and I didn't want to be away from nothing.
That's where I'm at now.
I'm thinking, if I go away, I remember the time here where I went to Jamaica for the first time with my brethren. It was two of us. Well, there was two friends, two cousins. We're all very close, yeah. And they've organised this trip now to go to Jamaica around the time when I think it was like Prince William was getting married or some shit like that. So there was extra bank holidays. So now as a DJ, that's an extra busy time for me because there's more bank holidays and like, do you get what I'm saying? It's more P's. But for them, it's like extra time off work. So it's like, yeah, they can go on a holiday.
They're like, yeah, let's go. And you're kind of like the opposite of like, oh, but I'm missing out so much.
So reluctant. Like, yeah. I reluctantly paid the deposit. And even when I paid the deposit, there was a part of me that was kind of on a vibe of, I'm not even going to go. I'm going to write this money off.
There's the possibility.
I'm going to let the man down. I'm going to give them an excuse and I'm going to let them down. Now, ultimately, it ended up being one of the best holidays I've ever been on in my life. I had such a good time. But just that barrier of like, I need to work. I need to work.
As a self-employed person, it costs double to take time off.
Of course.
Because it costs the money that the trip costs.
Yes.
But you're also out of pocket because you're not working during that period of time.
So we don't get paid.
So you don't get paid
holiday.
It's not like where if you're employed by someone else, you can take time off and your check still comes in every month.
Yeah.
Like that's amazing. And I'm very envious of that. But we do not have that luxury.
Yeah.
And that is, I think, a huge downside.
Envious of it to a point, because I used to be envious of it. But I think when you start making more money, then you become less envious of it. Because then you start finding yourself in a position where you get a little bit, where you are a bit more financially comfortable, where it's like, okay, cool. It may be, the money may differ every month. Yeah. It may still differ, but you've put yourself in a position where it's okay.
Like, we don't have limitations to how much we can earn in a month. We could, if we're working hella hard and hella smart, tens of thousands in a month. But if you're employed, like you might make bonuses and whatnot, but like you're getting that amount.
I could make 0 in 1 month. How about that?
That's the thing.
I could make actually just nothing, like not even £1,
not 1 penny.
But I could make. Get the bag.
You could make yearly salaries in a month.
Bag in 1 month.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? And it's nuts as well. You know, it's funny, yeah. So one day, I was talking to my mum's husband about something, like some kind of thing, some job that I did or whatever it was, yeah. And he was like, what, did you get paid for that or whatever? And I was like, yeah, of course. And like, he's never asked me before, like, how much do you get paid or whatever it was, yeah. But I think I just said, like, I said to him, right, you know that I got like thing. And he was like, what? And I was
know where
like,
you're going with this.
But then I was like, you know what? And then he mentioned to my mum. My mum was like, really?
I know why. I
sat down with them, yeah, and I said to them, that actually sounds amazing.
Yes.
But that's not consistent.
No.
It's amazing when it's consistent. I said, because, you know, it is, yeah, when you look at that one bag, it seems like that's just the greatest thing, yeah. But then when you look at the financial year and how much I made in that year, it's just very average. Yeah. That year, it just meant that that particular job that I got was a big one. My aim is to put myself in a position where I can get these types of jobs regularly, so that you could look at me and be like, so then
you can go, yo.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Not even so people can look at you, but so you can go yourself, yo, I'm making bank now.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
I hear that.
And then it's more warranted when you come to me and you're like, what is that you're doing? And that, and do you understand what I'm saying?
Then it makes sense in your head. Yeah. I hear that. It's mad. It's like with being self-employed, to every downside there's an upside, and to every upside there's a downside. Like every aspect of working for yourself has a positive and comes with a negative as well.
What's the hardest thing for you?
Right now, the hardest thing for me is consistent income. I'm in a position where I've got quite a lot of opportunities to work with different people and do different things, which is amazing. And it's great that I've reached that level. But quite a lot of those opportunities aren't necessarily paid or well paid or consistently paid. So I'm having to weigh up the options of, do I take this job because of what it is and what it might do for me? Or do I turn it down and try and find something that will pay regularly, kind of thing. That's for me where I'm at right now in my point of my career. That's the hardest aspect for me. But I think as you go through it, it changes. I don't think this isn't going to be my biggest issue forever. No. And I don't think it's your biggest issue now. What's yours now?
Mine now?
Yeah, right now.
My biggest issue now is more like I want to be able to get into the property game. I want to start building a property portfolio. But as a self-employed person, it's very difficult to do that, because they ultimately want to be able to see like what you've been doing for X, Y, Z years and all of these type of things. And it's like, if I was in a regular job, I would have been able to do that, and I would have been able to pattern that up a lot more easier than it has been for me now. Now it's just bare stress in fucking so many different things that you have to do and show and like be consistent in, and like it's a lot of hard work where like I just wish it was just a lot more simpler. Do you know what I mean? You get to a certain age where you want to start like looking at like ways of like investing your money and doing certain things or whatever, and like my my best friends are so advanced in that. And elements of it is because now, both of my best friends in particular, they run their own businesses, yeah. But before that, they had jobs and they were working, and they were working for a long time doing these jobs. And like, both of them were career jobs as well. So it wasn't just just a thing. Like both of them, one of them obviously works in music, and that was a career thing or whatever. But he'd been doing that for a while, and he had a consistent paycheck. But he was really successful in that too, which was good. So boom. Now when he's gone on to owning his own business and all of that stuff, he still has years of being able to say, I did this and that. And the same with my other best friend. He's got bare yards all over the fucking place now. But he had a job, he was making good money, and he knew like what I need to do to invest my money and whatever, and he got that ball rolling. But he was always able to go back and say, well, this is what I have done. I've never really had that because honestly, bro, I've had jobs, but like nothing
not a career job.
Yeah, nothing. Not like even one time I worked for a lady, yeah, right, who's like a mentor to me now, and I was with her for like a couple of years, yeah, and I wasn't there every day, but I was hardly getting any money. I was getting a bit of money, but it wasn't even being paid directly into my bank. It was just being given to me, yeah, and.
Oh, cash in hand.
Yes, exactly. And then without getting into too much detail, it was all right because I was doing, so there was an unproductive side to my life.
So it kind of just worked
so
well with what you were
was all right.
doing.
It was like, basically, my whole thing was this, yeah. Like I know what this thing is, what I'm doing is not good here, but that's okay because at some point I've got something I'm interested in and that I want to do. So I'm going to get out of this. Yeah. It's just a matter of when, finding myself in a position where I could kind of step away from that and fully focus on this. But I was in a place for years where it was like, I'm working on something within music and stuff like that, and I'm like DJing or whatever. But at this time, the money's not really that great, but I'm proper enjoying it. However, I've got stability over this side, which is helping me be able to like stand up tall and be able to, well, so to speak, but but be able to, you get what I'm saying, like pattern up and move and do whatever I wanted to do. Do you get me? But so I can't use that to the person. You can't
go to the bank and say, hey, I was making XYZ amount.
Yeah, like I'm good for it. Yeah, like I'm good for it. It's cool. Yeah. Like they're like, what? Nah, man.
There's just something that they can't be associated with that.
So yeah, later on, like I realized how much of a hindrance a lot of that ended up being. Yeah. But you know what? Like, I don't regret it. I just don't regret it. I had some of the best times of my life back then.
Do you have many regrets in life, if any?
Yeah, I've got a couple of regrets.
Without like saying exactly what they are if you don't want to, but like, what sort of regrets do you have?
You know, like sometimes some people say, like, you know, you shouldn't have no regrets. They make you are, and blah, 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 blah. And I agree with that, yeah. But there's certain things that happen, and in your heart, it never, like, it gets easier, and you can get over them as well, yeah. But you just think, you know what? I didn't make a good
Give me an
decision.
Give me an example. Because I'm of the thinking that you just said. Like, I don't believe in regrets, but I'm someone who I like who I am as a person. I'm very happy with where I am. Yeah. I like the direction I'm on. I'm not exactly where I want to be, but that's fine. But I'm very happy with myself as a human being. And everything that's happened in my life has led to me getting to this point. So I can't really regret much. The only things I can think of that I regret might be certain interactions with people or times where I've let other people down. Well, okay. But still,
let's look at the term regret. Yeah. Okay. For me, it's obviously a thing that you would, had you have been in this situation, or in hindsight now, you probably would have changed that decision and not done whatever it is that you feel you regret. Yeah. So yeah, like I'm happy I'm super happy of the man that I am now. But there are like a couple of things where I just think that like, I don't know how drastic my life would have been if I didn't make this decision or certain things didn't happen. But there are like, maybe like, even just down to like a couple people that I distanced myself from just through things that I had going on in my life. And I treated them a certain type of way. Like that, when I look back at that, there's like one particular person, I really regret that. I really regretted the way that I treated that person in a time when I was going through what I was going through. I should not have dealt with them like that. But at the time, it made sense to me. And ultimately, you could say, it worked out because I've learned some things from it or whatever. But you know what? I wouldn't have done that then. I think there was a time where on the podcast, I can't remember what episode it was, yeah. I'm just trying to give minor examples of regrets, by the way. Some of them I don't really want to go to. It's not like some of them are with people, and some of them are just certain things that I've done. Yeah, okay. But yeah, like minor regrets. One time on the podcast when I was talking about that girl that I was I had a thing with or whatever it was, yeah, and then like, how did I explain the situation? I think I said something along the lines of like, I ended up fobbing her off somehow. She was like my brethren. We ended up doing a thing. And then like, I remember she was like a sex addict, bro. So imagine, right? I was going through, I was in a not good space. Yeah. Seriously, in my life.
And she came along.
And we was brethren for time, bro. Like we was brethren. But it was always one of them things where it was like, I didn't think that she was attracted to me like that. When I met her, I didn't think that she was attracted to me. Do you remember the story I'm telling you now?
No, but I empathize.
You might remember it like this. Boom. I was first holiday with the man them. The guy that actually met her, one of my brethren or whatever, that met her, he was the looker. And she like... I know it. Yeah, what I'm saying? Yeah. So he ended up getting acquainted with her, but nothing ended up really happening. But me and her ended up just being super cool. And it was that. Whoever's watching this will know. There will be some people who know exactly what I'm talking about.
It wasn't that long ago that you told this.
It was recently.
Okay, I remember. So I remember.
Yeah, so cut a long story now. Boom. We flipping, like we're just friends, whatever. Like, there's certain things in the story I didn't tell. I might as well tell it now, yeah.
Wait, hold on. Get to the regret part, though.
I'm going to get to the regret part. Cool. But I like telling the story. Yeah, go on.
Indulge yourself.
So anyway, boom. Like, so we're cool now, whatever. I've accepted the fact that we're just brethren, and that's it. Like, she's good looking, but we're just cool. Yeah. But we just occasionally go out for a drink, go out to eat. I talk about girls, she talk about guys, whatever. And then I remember one time I'm driving my car and I got my hand on the gear stick, and she put her hand on top of my hand on the gear stick, and I'm kind of like, rah, like she's got a hand on my hand kind of vibe. Like, she's not really done that before. Anyway, cut a long story short, boom. Things started happening, but I was very unhappy at that time. So it was weird. It's like, imagine I'm sexually active with a girl who I'm very attracted to, who's my brethren, who I thought was my brethren anyway. And then now this is happening, but I'm not in a good space, so I can't really enjoy it as much as I would like to have enjoyed it, yeah. I did enjoy it, but there was just like, you know what, like, I'm still not, it's not making me feel better. Do you know what I mean? And it doesn't help the fact that like, she's fucking, bro. Listen, bruv, like, and I'm a man like this. I'll be honest. I'm just well documented. Like, twice at the most. You're not gonna catch me on the rounds thing. Like, I'm not gonna be out here six rounds deep. You'll never hear like
but she's that girl that wants rounds
all
from
day. You know what? You wake up in the morning, bam, hit. Then you might get a little something to eat, bam, hit.
Nah.
Then you
already
might just
that's too much for me in one day.
Go shop, come back, bam, hit. Then you just flipping, relaxing again, watching something on TV, midway through, bam, hit.
Jesus.
Then and then I might have to go touch road, whatever, come back, bam, hit. It's like crazy, but that's not what's happening, but that's the vibe that I'm getting. That is, you get what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like, it's uncontrollable now. I'm opening up the door and it's just fucking.
Yeah,
I'm like,
it's too much for you.
Yeah, I'm like, let's say hello. How are you? How was
let's
your
say
day?
hi.
You get what I'm saying? Like, all this shit's just too much, yeah. So anyway, boom. Ended up doing that thing where like I text my brethren, call me.
Oh shit! Yeah, I remember you telling me this.
So obviously my brethren knows the pattern. Like we've got that thing in it. Well, we had that thing where it's like, we're older now, innit? So these things don't happen anymore. That's why I talk about it, because otherwise I would not say it. I would not talk about this. But anyway, boom, call me. So he knows what that is. Rings my phone. Chucks, right, it's a madness. Boom. Like, where are you? Come pick me up. I've lost the thing. Whatever. Come. And I'm like, bro, I can't even leave the yard right. Nah, Chucks, I need you to like leave now. So anyway, I'm like, yeah, all right, cool, I'm going to come. Who was that? It's my brethren. Like, it's a bit of a madness, but I'm not leaving. But the way that we'd make it extra believable now is he'd ring me again.
Yeah.
So I answered have you left yet, bruv? What? It's a man, like, fucking, I'm out here, bro. I'm stranded. It's this, that, and man, them chasing after me. And, you know what, babes, you know what? It's fucking mad out here. Like, I've got to fucking leave.
You and your boy really had the...
Yeah, it was mad. So anyway, I've left and I've gone to my mum's. And I've laid on my bed, yeah, at my mum's, and I'm like, I can't deal with this right now. But anyway, she's left now. And then I just stopped chatting to her. I just thought, you know what? I can't, like, I need to focus. From that moment? Yeah, I just thought, you know what? I need to focus on, like, getting better and feeling better and understanding why I'm feeling the way that I am. So I completely locked her off. I did not message her. She rang me. Listen, bro, I completely ghosted her, bro. Okay. She rang me a few times, sent me text messages, said happy birthday to me, like all of these things. And I never responded one time. And then one time I saw her, I was on the way to the gym and I saw her at a distance. Yeah, my heart dropped to my big toe, you know, because now it's awkward. So as I'm walking towards her, I'm like kind of gone to sort of hug her, like, you're all right, whatever. And she's pushed me. But I almost fell over the fucking balcony. The girl pushed me. She's like, nah, like. Fair enough. And then like I went into the gym. I remember telling like a couple of the guys I was training with at the time. And I felt so bad for that because she had done nothing but treat me good. Yeah. I know like we were friends and then it got like this. But she always just like, had so much respect for me and always had nice things to say to me and like was really encouraging and like she just dealt with me in a real good way and I treated her super bad, bro. Yeah. And so I regretted that. In some way I kind of wish that it did, like we didn't do what we did, yeah. Even though it was I'm not gonna lie, it was good. But at the same time I kind of feel like, you know, I found myself in this position now, and if there was anyone that I shouldn't have dealt with like that, it was 100% her. And I'm so happy that I got to explain it to her in the end. It was like maybe a couple of years later, but she just messaged me one time and she was just kind of like, you know what, I hope you're okay. And I thought, you know what, I sent her a long message. You know what, we need to chat, like X, Y, Z. And she was like, cool. I went and met her and I was 100% honest with her. I even told her about the thing about my brethren and that calling me on the phone. I told her, I said everything. I laid it all out and I just said, I was like very apologetic and I wanted her to know that I had a lot of respect for her, but like I was just being super duper selfish, and which isn't a bad thing. Because sometimes you have to be, but
you dealt with it cowardly.
100%. Yeah. I should have just said to her, do you know what? I can't even do this right now because I don't feel good within myself and whatever. So that was
that's fair enough. That's definitely a fair regret. Like I think the way we can deal with people at times, I believe you can definitely regret that, and I think you should.
Work-wise,
I've only got one regret. Work-wise,
go on.
Just choosing to work with someone that my gut told me at the time I probably shouldn't.
Yeah, I hear that stuff.
But
look at your face; his face is going red and everything.
Well, because I can't say it, but
I hear that
you
stuff.
know what I'm on about. But yeah, that's the only regret. But it's a regret because I didn't trust my instinct. And my instinct told me from the get-go, I don't trust this person. Yeah. And I even told it to them directly. I said to them at one point, I don't trust you. Mm. And they said, cool. But I still didn't listen to myself. Mm.
Yeah, sometimes you have to listen to your gut. The only thing is sometimes your gut can be wrong. But sometimes you have to trust that, man.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to trust it. Especially when you're judging by how often your gut has been right. Because there are
Yeah.
times where you look at like trusting your gut and you're like, okay, cool, yeah, I dodged one. Do you know, I was wrong here. But it's okay. It's okay to be wrong. It's okay for the gut to be wrong. But if your gut's wrong bare times, then it's different.
Yeah, see, the thing is, I don't listen to mine enough, but I always look at it in hindsight, and I can't lie, a good like 80% of the time, maybe more, my gut is right in the end.
Yeah.
But I've never actually listened to it and like had the balls to go, you know what, I don't feel like this is right for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Even if I can't really process the reason, it just doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
I've never had the balls to really do that. So I've always fallen for that in a sense.
Yeah.
But looking back, my gut's normally right, bro.
Yeah, same. My
Just
gut is
dead.
usually always right.
Yeah.
Like,
I think that's a lesson I'm still learning the hard way, is I need to trust myself more.
yeah, man. That's key. Trusting yourself is so important, bro. I'm telling you. Trusting yourself is so important. But also having the courage to be able to have certain types of conversations is key too. Because you could trust your gut, yeah, but then it's how you deal with the situation. You know, like you might feel like, you know, this situation isn't for me. I don't trust this person, or I don't want to work with them, or I don't trust this girl, whatever it may be. But then ultimately how you can be judged is how you deal with that situation. You could then say, oh, I don't trust them, and then you start answering the phone, you stop chatting to this person or whatever. And it doesn't always need to be that way.
Nah.
It could just be like, you know what, this particular thing isn't for me, and that's that. And I've got one of my close friends, yeah, who I'm going to have on a podcast one of these days. We're going to have a good chat. We've spoken about it a bunch of times, but that's something that I've always admired about him so much. He like, everyone always says, you know what, yeah, I don't mind putting myself in positions where I have to have an awkward conversation. A lot of people do say that, yeah. But when it's time to have it, there's not a lot of people that actually fulfill that. And he is consistent in having the awkward conversation. There's a problem, straight away, picking up the phone.
See, like, that's something I really respect.
Let's, like, what's the problem? Let's talk about it. Or he's the person who will, you know what, I'm feeling some type of way. I didn't like that. Bam.
Talk about it.
I'm just letting you know that I didn't like that. I had an issue with that. So you always know where he stands. Like, because he'll always pick up the phone. I feel like there's a big generation of people now. It's like they'll have a big issue with their brethren, and the first thing they do is go straight online and then post like an indirect quote.
See, that's bullshit.
That says, you could never be someone's friend when such and such happens, and you've got to find your inner thing. And then they have a caption that says, yeah, like, you know, when it happens to you.
Or like, it's like, you know who you are.
Yeah, you know who you are. And it's like, you're talking about your...
if you've been this person.
If the what? What do you say?
If the shoe fits.
If the shoe fits. If the shoe fits.
I'm
Get out of here with that.
Taking anything like that to social media, even before or after you've dealt with the situation, I'm not really for. I'm not really for. But that's something that I really respect about working with Julie, is that she's like...
Super transparent.
Like ridiculously, and it just makes things so much easier.
The patience stuff is super important. I was speaking to my little brother the other day, yesterday actually, and we have some really good conversations on the phone. He's at a stage where he's like, he's figured out what he wants to do, but he still has this pressure. He's 19.
That's young to figure out what you want to do.
Of course, exactly. But
that's sick.
Yeah, he's like proper on it, and he's trying to cut through, and he's trying to do certain things or whatever. But like, you know, he said to me, oh, you know what, like, I just don't want to be where I'm at. Like, in 2 years' time, I want to have my yard and car and blah. And I'm like, bro.
In 2 years' time?
I'm like, listen,
21, bro.
I'm like, bro. They said, you're super young.
Yeah.
Trust me when I tell you, yeah. It may not feel like it, but you are incredibly young.
Yeah.
And on top of that, things are different in today's society to how it was 30, 40 years ago. Yeah, there's a lot more people that are staying at home at a later age in their life because it's hard. It's like, you gotta think, it's so difficult.
Paying rent in London and trying to save for a mortgage and just
joke.
living, the cost of living in London. Bro,
It's
you
a
know how
job.
much money you have to be on to actually be successful with that?
Yes, exactly.
That's ridiculous.
If you can go and pay rent somewhere in London
Save up
and
for a
save for a mortgage, you have actually...
You've cracked it.
Bruv, I'm telling you.
So much respect
You
for you.
are doing your thing. What?
Right, if my parents lived in London, best believe I would still be there.
But a lot of people as well, like there's a lot of people that have had inheritance in some way, shape or form. For example, maybe someone may have died and then had an inheritance which has kind of given them a boost to be able to get something.
Yeah.
Or like some people have had parents that have like either remortgaged their house to help their kids, or there was like one man that lives on my road in particular actually, yeah. What he did was, I can't remember exactly what the situation was, but he'd given one of his daughters some money like years ago, which then that daughter went on to invest and whatever, and like being able to just set her life up, yeah. But he wasn't able to do it for the other daughter. So what he did do was he sold his house.
Yeah.
He sold his house and he gave her a chunk of that money and he just downsized.
Yeah.
So he was able to help her be able to like start and do all of these type of things.
That's it.
So those are like some of the benefits that some people have in order to be able to make things happen. Not everyone has that. And some people are still able to make things happen even though they don't have that.
Yeah.
But ultimately, in general, in London in particularly, it is
Hard.
it is super duper hard. But it's not impossible.
No.
You just need to have a certain type of perspective, and you have to have patience.
I was just about to say, going back to the whole point of what you were saying, of that patience, bro.
But you know what I also said? Yeah, I said, what is the most important thing to you? What is the most important thing to you right now? And the response was like making a career of doing what he wants to do. So I said to him, right, so that is the important thing. Now you have to work on the important thing, and all of the other things that you are mentioning to me will all start falling into place. You will eventually get your house. You will eventually get your car. You will get all of these things that you want, but you have to focus on the thing that is important. If all you're doing is focusing on, you just want the car, or you just want the house. Yeah. Then okay, what might happen is you might find yourself in a position where you might get it. You might get the car.
You may not be ready for it though.
Exactly.
You may not be able to afford it properly. Like, because you can find yourself in positions like going back to kind of what you said before, like when you were speaking about, you were saying that your stepdad. Yeah. When you mentioned that, like, you got paid a certain amount for something, like that check one day could be enough to get that car, but what about rent for the next year?
All right then.
What about food for the next year?
Yeah, exactly.
You may be able to afford that, not afford it, pay for it in a moment, but can you live if you still do that?
Yeah. Also though, cool, boom, I've got it, but bam, petrol now. Insurance now.
Bro.
Road tax now.
I got friends.
Oh, wait, I ain't done.
I got friends.
Wait, that's exactly what
What'd you say?
Finish. Tires.
Oh,
right,
shit.
boom. You lick a curb now, because this is the thing. You get a car, yeah, and you find yourself in situations where it's unexpected expenditure.
Yes.
Yeah?
Someone was telling me that it's 180 for Range Rover tyre worth.
Yes, you get what I'm saying? 180. Listen, but even then it's like, boom, I'm driving my car, bam, tyre pops, boom, 50, quick, £70, whatever it may
God
be.
forbid you have some problem with the engine.
The engine.
Or gearbox.
Blood. All right, let me tell you
Then you are done out here,
Let me tell you about my first whip.
Done.
Yeah? Let me tell you about my first whip. So I've got this whip now, and now it's lit. Because I could go where I want, check, I can, whatever I want to do, yeah? I can move however I want to move. But I wasn't really ready for this car. I'll tell you how deep it was. This is how deep I wasn't ready for this car.
Oh, shit.
I saved for this car. But I was like £70 off. That's how I wasn't ready for this car. If I'm £70 off, I'm not ready for it.
Because you need to have more.
If you can afford it by £70, you're still not ready for it.
Bro, and in order for me to have this car, really, it wasn't peace. The car wasn't expensive, but it's just where I'm at in my life. in order for me to have this car, really, I need to have extra bank.
Yes,
so that I can buy this and I can move like however. Bro, how can I be £70 off and I might buy the car, there's no petrol in it and I'm fucked now?
How you going to drive?
Yeah, you get what I'm saying? So now I've gone to one of my dons, bam, can you line me up with a... Yeah, of course, come, whatever, boom, chats, boom. So he's giving me that. I've gone to the place now, got the whip, and like sorted myself out or whatever it is now. So I'm driving this car and then I remember I had bare things was happening with this fucking car, bro. Anyway, one day I'm driving and then like I noticed that the temperature is like peaking, bruv. You know, like it's like here and it's gone bam, and it's like doing this, bruv. It's doing a madness. So I'm like, rah, what's going on, bro? I've lifted up the bonnet, yeah. All this brown shit start coming out of the engine, blood. So I've rang the AA. The man, like 2 hours later, they've come, whatever, and I'm like, what's happened? Like, what is it? He's looking at it and he's like, I think it's the head gasket, mate. I don't even know what that is. But all I know is by his reaction, it's a madness.
It's pain.
Now, I've fucking gone to the car show, the thing to go and get the thing fixed, whatever now. And the man's telling me, yeah, this is going to cost like 6 bills or whatever. So it's like, do you get what I'm saying? It's like, I didn't account for this. So now that's 6 bills out of the blue. Fines. That's the next thing.
Fine.
When you're not ready for a whip, yeah.
That's more in your control.
Of course.
So
you say that, but that's still a part of it at times because you could get yourself in a situation, unfortunately. Sometimes you don't even know it happened, bruv. Like, you could be extra
you could be
careful.
extra vigilant and
Of
probably
course.
avoid all
but
that. But I get it.
you're a human being and you make mistakes.
You will make mistakes.
The point is that it's something that you didn't account for.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? So bam, now this is, and you might, the thing is on top of that, you may not even really have the money for that now. No. So you're like, you know what, cool, I'm gonna hold on this fine and I'll pay it when I get a bank. But that bank ain't come in yet and this has gone higher.
The late fee.
And you're like, you know what, don't worry, it's calm because I've got this coming in. Bam, it gets higher. Next minute now, bam, bailiff knock on your door now. And then it's a note saying what? Yeah, 8/5. And you're like, what?
How did it get here?
So yeah, the whole point of all of what I'm saying is that you can get something, but you're just not ready for it, bro.
Yeah. Focus on what you want to do to get to there. And that stuff will happen if you're focused and hardworking enough.
Yeah.
Most likely. But man, it's difficult though.
Yeah, it's hard, man. Like, it's not easy. Like living here.
Also, at 19 years old, he says by 2 years he wants to be in a certain position. Bro, if you only figure out what you want to do at 30, you've still got another 35, 40 years of working life left.
Yeah, bro.
You have got time.
He's going to smash it, trust me.
I think my generation is specifically feels a hell of a lot of pressure to know what we want to do and do what we want to do young.
Yeah.
And if you haven't got a mortgage by 25, fuck you. You're not doing anything.
That's because
that's ridiculous.
That's because there's bare people on the internet.
Bare people on the internet. But also, I feel like our school system doesn't help that. Like, if you're someone who wants to pursue something like a degree in something, you pretty much have to know what degree you want to do by the time you're 16, bro. Because you have to choose the right GCSEs, then the right A-levels, then get to the university. That's too young.
Yeah, that's true.
How many people really know what they actually want to do at 16?
Yeah, that's mad, bro.
That's mad.
I guess a lot of that shit comes down to like your parents and that. You know what? Be a doctor, man. Sure.
Could do.
Like, be a nurse or be a this or whatever.
But even if you don't have a pushy parent and you're still trying to figure out what you want to do,
someone will just come and just say, like, you'll sit down with someone and they will usually just give you just a couple of like. What I like just the normal generic things that you would do in life. Be a doctor, a nurse, a lawyer. You might a tradespert, like you might get into the trade
city
aspect.
Worker, banker.
Yeah, banker, like, but a lot of those things are just super generic. But now I think there's so many examples of people that are doing amazing stuff outside of all of that. Like, yeah, it's like you can open your mind at a younger age. Yeah. And know even more so, okay, these are not for me, but I could possibly do this and that. And there's all these other examples of things that they can do. But then also, when you have too much choice, that's what makes it difficult too. you know.
Yeah, I agree. And when we're looking around on social media and seeing like the people who have managed to achieve ridiculous things at a young age, you feel pressure to like live up to that.
Yeah, definitely.
But like you forget that you're looking at the 0.00001% of the population that have actually managed to do that.
Yeah.
But because you see it and everyone else is kind of glorifying it, you feel like if you don't live up to that, you're unsuccessful.
That's true.
Which is nuts. Crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. Well, listen, bruv, I'm trying to get out of here. I don't know where the fuck Poet is. I'm ringing him now.
He fully didn't turn up. It's going to be the easiest podcast to edit for me, though. One camera. Yeah.
His arm was still hurting him, actually.
Oh, he did text me earlier saying he was going to hospital.
Oh, did he? I said
don't know how true that is, but he did.
I said I was going to take him to the hospital.
Oh, okay.
He's funny. Oh, he's funny. You know?
Yeah. The thing is, he said, I'm going to hospital.
Okay.
Who knows if he's actually going to hospital?
Have you seen that whole madness with Doc Rotten and J1?
Oh, shit.
You might need to take the mic because I don't know what that is.
Do you want to come? Do you want to chat with me? Come. So everyone, this is my young G.
Yo. Oh.
Yeah, chuck it on. I'm not sure how much of this we'll use, but cool. This is my young G, Kaya. You are a young aspiring artist as well. Still.
Yeah, Kai Zeno.
Kai Zeno, yeah?
Come on.
Hey, I like Kai Zeno. Yeah, you live on the same road as me as well. I've known you since you was fucking, I don't know, super young and that. But yeah, bruv.
You seen it?
Yeah, Dot Rotten and that. So you know, you explain it. Do you know what happened from the beginning?
Alright, let me just talk on what I know, innit? Yeah. From what I know, yeah.
That's actually better.
Like this. Okay, that comes out the side.
Go on.
Yeah, from what I know, yeah, I've just seen like basically from the beginning I seen J1 in studio with Still Bangles, and he's obviously releasing a new tune, innit? $1 million. And he's at his Still Bangles like, yeah, me and Still Bangles releasing a tune. And then I don't know, however much time longer, I don't know what happened, what conversation these lot had, but Dot Rotten just came out on a madness like, raw, you're releasing a tune called $1 million, but when I ask you for 15k for the beat, you're stuttering, like you're moving like you ain't got the money. And then he's even drawing out facts like, you're moving like he ain't got the money, but I know for a fact you're getting 20k a show. Yeah. So it's either you're getting bumped by someone, or you're trying to bump me. Either way, he just wants his 15k.
Yeah, I think he had production credit on, wasn't it on that song? Didn't he produce that song?
He produced the whole beat, yeah.
He produced the whole beat, but he was in the studio with Still Bangles. But what was Still Bangles' involvement in that tune?
Have no idea. This is the thing. I feel like
I know him and Still Bangles work together.
They definitely work together.
All it seemed to me, obviously, he need like. It seemed like J1 was gonna release this song without
mention of Dot Rotten. Like,
exactly, like and not paying for the beat. And this is the thing, yeah. I proper felt Dot Rotten in how he acted in that, because. See, like producers, yeah. Sometimes people take the piss with producers and that, and on top of that, like a lot of the time, they don't always get the credit that they deserve.
Often, so.
And and to be fair, sometimes it's not that big of a deal, purely because as long as you got your finances straight. Remember, the producer always gets 50%. That's a stock. So it's like, okay, cool. I may not get the credit, and credit is key if you're looking at legacy. So if you're working with certain people as a producer, like say if I'm working with say I work with Jay-Z or Stormzy or Skepta, like I want that credit because that adds to my legacy. I want that. That's more important to me than just the money, because I want people to know that this is what I did, and it needs to be there. It needs to be documented. Some people are just kind of on the vibe of whatever, just pay me my P's. But that's on the thing of, bruv, you're taking. How can you actually premiere a tune and then? Like, you ain't even paid me my piece. That is taking the fucking piss.
You probably just thought, you're taking a piss out of me now.
But where Dot Rotten went so mad is that he makes a diss record. Imagine this, Calum, yeah? He makes a diss record for J1,
going hard,
going
as well.
hard at him, yeah, only to say at the end, yeah, he paid me the peas and the song's coming out.
Fam, on Instagram. Listen.
He's like, listen.
At the end of it was at the end
like,
of
yeah,
the
it's
video,
coming
wasn't
out.
it?
like that though.
He's like, yeah, the tune's coming out still.
And
But
I feel like he just did that because he just thought like, nah, man are treating me like I'm a liquor man in
Principle.
this thing. Like, yeah, like I feel like a lot of people don't know about where Dot Rotten's like come from. Like,
bruv,
what he's going on.
Dot Rotten is a god MC, you know. You got, like,
Listen.
you can't take that. Like, you fuck around with him, he gets on a microphone and it's problems. But and he's that. Do you know what? That's the advantage that he's got over a lot of producers, because not a lot of producers can get on a microphone and do that. And also, not a lot of producers have a thing where there's a group of core, like a big core fan base that want you to get on the microphone.
Yeah, it's
Dot
true.
Rotten has fans, yeah, that want him to make music like that.
I can't
But
think of
there's
many.
two sides to him. There's Zeph Ellis, which is the producer side, and then Dot Rotten, which is the MC. innit?
Yeah, I can't think of many producers who's like that still. Like, there's a lot of producers, or there's a lot of MCs or rappers that make beats for themselves.
Yeah, Skepta's one.
Yeah, but
Skepta JME makes a lot of his stuff.
I can't think of a producer like
Blade
producing.
Vision. I think Blade Vision produces a lot of his stuff as
But
well.
Dot
And
Rotten
he's
makes
hard.
beats. Dot Rotten produces for
No, he took-
people. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. there.
No, Dot Rotten produce. He's bruv.
Like, no, he definitely produces for people. But I'm saying that I don't know many other artists who make beats for bare other people.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
they're like a freelance producer in that sense. Do you know what I'm saying?
But I think that, like, yeah, he came at him and he just went super cruddy and said, yeah, boom, like, the song's out now anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can go and get it, you can copy it. And it's like, okay, like, did he need to go that hard on him like that? Was it a little bit of bullying?
Was it
But
a bit
sometimes you gotta do that just to let people know you can't really fuck around in it. The only problem with that, though, do you know what the problem with that is?
Just look like a bad guy.
Sometimes, yeah, there's that, but sometimes it puts people off wanting to work with you.
Yeah.
Because if you already have a persona, or people already know you to be hard work or a headache, yeah, then you do something like that, it can be taken out of context a bit. And then also some people will be like, he's good, but you know what? I don't even want to work with my man because
Just a
he
bad
might just
trait,
get
innit?
upset. He might get upset. And you know what? Before you know it now, I'm trying to get a beat from my man and I found myself in a lyrical war. I found myself in
He
some
told you
lyrical confrontation.
He tells you 15, you tell him maybe 10, and it's on now. It's on.
But pay these fucking producers, man.
Yeah, for
give them
real.
the money, bruv. Like, give
And I
them
feel
the
like
money.
credit's
If a
an
man
import-
tells you this is how much it costs, then just give him the fucking money. Or don't use it.
You're in that position as well.
Yeah, bruv.
And I feel like credit's important as well. Like, I feel like credit is an important thing.
Yeah, it is.
Like, even if it's like in a video, like someone's made you a banging beat. If the tune is banging, and like 75% of the reason that the tune's banging is because the beat is hard. Like, all you have to do is say produced by so and so.
Is J1 independent?
I'm not sure. I don't think so.
still.
You can Google it. But
Independent, but he's not saying it anyway.
I don't know. I don't know the ins and outs of that business. But yeah, do you know what? Credit is very important, bro, actually, for me. And I understand that, actually. I actually understand that credit is super important for anyone who's working, particularly in the creative industry.
Definitely.
If you take part in something, then you should always fight for your credit, for you to have credit, for you to be able to be known that you took part in it. Because you know what, the money and stuff is good, yeah, but the credit for the legacy is just so much better, man. Imagine like there's a piece of work out there that is an absolute classic. It's an absolute timeless classic, and you was a part of it, and no one knows you for that. And it's like having credit can lead to so much other opportunities.
Especially as a producer.
Especially as a producer, a
producer,
videographer.
In the light.
It goes back to
Even a
what you lot said.
videographer, it's like you could do a video for somebody or whatever it may be, yeah, like a music video, and it's super artistic, like, and very different, some proper crazy shit. And then you have your credit, like you did that. It was you that did that. God knows how much people then say, oh wait, who is that guy? And then that's more opportunities from then. If you don't get that credit, you might get the P's, but then that's it. It's done after that.
It goes back to what you lot were saying about self-fulfillment, because it's like, imagine that you worked on a piece of art, like making beats is a hard work and a hard art form, innit? So it's like, imagine you actually worked on a piece of art, everyone's gassing it, like, yeah, this beat is hard and this tune's hard, and then like no one's even saying like, yo, your beat's hard, and no one's saying, coming up to you saying to you like, your beat's hard. Like, you want at least someone to like recognize, like, yeah, this is my piece of art, you know, like, this was made by me. Even if they didn't give you the money, like the tune massive is played on every single radio, like just someone would want that, you know what I mean?
Do you find it hard, see, like on the come up here, do you find it hard getting beats? Yeah,
because like getting beats right now is more like it's a lot of like searching on YouTube. Recently, a lot of people have sent me beats, like just emailed me randomly, and like that's good, but I feel like it's hard to find producers that you want to work with and that also actually want to work with you. And it's hard to be on YouTube all the time and find beats that's actually for you, do you know what I mean? So it's like finding beats is kind of half the challenge, because then you also got to write to it, because like you might find a beat that you actually like, but you might not vibes with it like that. And same.
But then do you like it then?
Do you know what it is? I feel like for me, I can appreciate the way like a banging beat. Like I might not make bare trap songs or bare trap like whatever type of song. Like same way I don't like make no house music, but if you show me a house beat
and it's good
and I'm vibes with it, do you know what I'm saying? But I could never make a tune to it. But that's just because that's the type of artist that I am. But as in, it's the same way where if I work with a producer, I like to just sit and work with them, let them make the beat. If I like the beat, then we work with it. If not, then we work on something else. But then it's like I could be in a position where they're making bare beats or going through bare different beats that, it's a good beat, but I'm just not getting it. Do you know what I'm saying? I watched the Nipsey Hussle interview one time, and he was saying like how you can work with loads of producers, and like sometimes producers take offense where like they're making a beat or they're showing you loads of their beats and you're liking it, but you're like, nah, next one. And it's not because they're shit beats or nothing, but it's like he literally said like, you just don't hear words. Because music is a spiritual thing. Like when the producer made the beat, like they heard it in their head and then created it. Same way when a rapper hears a beat, they hear the words, they just write it down. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's like I can hear something that I proper like, but someone else, that's for someone else to make something banging. Do you know what I'm saying?
Do you know, it's interesting you say that, I remember years ago, I watched a Jay-Z documentary called, it was around the time he was making the Black Album, which was his retirement album, He was saying he was going to retire. And then like there's some video footage of him. He basically hired out a complex of studios, and he had all these different producers in there working and making beats for him. So we had like Just Blaze in one studio, Timbaland in another studio, Neptunes in another studio. He had them all in the studio working.
I feel like
and then he goes into Timbaland's studio, and like he's like, play me some beats. So Timbaland's like playing, just going through like some beats, and you can see like Timbaland's proper trying to sell them to him because he's like nodding his head, whatever, But Jay's like, nah. And then he gets to one particular tune and you see Jay's face like change up. It's like, you know what I mean? Different. And then, but what was funny about that, he ended up making a tune called Off Your Shoulders from that. But I remember when he went and he was flicking through those beats, later on, some of those other beats that he flicked through ended up being big songs for other people as well. And it gets like that. Now, I wanted to ask you this though, See, like, in terms of like negotiating beats, as a young artist coming up, when someone gives you a beat, what kind of conversations are you having business wise? What are you having, like, are you making agreements, or are you just saying, you know what, here's 2 bills or however much, and that's that?
You know what, yeah, I'm trying to understand the business side of music a lot more in it, so that I can negotiate things like that. But I already know things like a producer's gonna get 50% of the royalties or whatever if it's negotiated in that way.
Yeah, but look, forget about what you know or what you've heard within the thing. I'm actually just asking you as just because you gotta think, every generation just deals with things very differently, until it gets to a point where it's like it's super big business and you gotta be super straight. But when you're on the come up and you're just trying to find beats, the same way a producer is trying to find someone to rap on them, when you go on YouTube, you find a beat or someone's beat that you like or whatever, what do? You hit him up, can I get the beat? What does he say?
I'm gonna be real in it. I find a beat on YouTube, I'm using it. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna be straight. Like, to all the producers out there, I'll probably use your beat if it was banging, innit? I'll just use it.
You can't sell it though.
But
have you sold it?
But
that's what
I'm not even gonna say it. Yeah. But my point is, if I find a beat on YouTube, I'll just use it, innit? And I'll write to it, whatever, if I like it. Like, if I like it to the extent, or like the tune that I made to that extent, then I'll 100% try and contact them. Or like, usually they just have a website or whatever where you can just buy it.
Yes.
And you've got like different deals. So it's like, you might have like just simple MP3 for non-profit use, or like the lease or whatever it is for profit use, so that you can buy the whole stems of the beat or whatever it is you want to do. But if it's like that, like I actually want to put it out there like that, then yeah, I'll buy it. But if it's just a beat that I like, then I'll just write to it.
That's interesting. That's good still. I like that. I like the fact that you can just go on like someone's website, whatever, and just buy all the stems and do your thing. It's nuts though, because do you still get your publishing, right? If you have publishing, like would you still get your royalties off that? Because if I've paid you, yes. Yeah. If I've paid you for the beat, that's that.
Yeah, no, some of them is like you just buy the beat and you own the beat. And that's that.
How much of it do you own really though? Because really, obviously they still must make their royalties from that.
They must.
That's if they
but then I feel like
that's good. You know, I'm going to speak to a young producer. Yeah, I want to know how you lot... I just want to know how you lot move.
I feel like I would want to know that as well, because I feel like a lot of these producers, they put out beats and like a lot of people are getting finessed in it. I've heard beats on Apple Music, Spotify, where the beat is saying to me, this guy didn't pay for his beats, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's them kind of tags on the beat, and it's actually saying that on the track with man's voice recorded over it. Yeah. So it's like people are just doing that, like downloading the beat, recording over it, putting it out same way. Yeah. But it's like there are ways for them to make money, because a lot of them do sell bare beats or like a beat pack or like.
I've got in my head. I've got it now, because yes, I can go. For example, I could go to Timberland.
Oh, okay.
Let me just say this. So I can go to Timberland, for example, or I could go to, I don't know, like Still Bangles, and I can say to Still Bangles, boom, I want a beat from you, and he could charge me for a particular beat, and he might say to me, all right, boom, 100 racks, whatever it is. But even when I pay that, when I put this song through, and put this as the performances, he still is a performer on that, so he would naturally still get his royalties from it. But as a young producer, I wonder how many young producers actually know, and even artists know, that they could still make money off it. Because I feel like some producers probably think, you know what? Oh, well, I'm just shotting you the beat, so you own it, and whatever you do is what you do with it, and they could be fucking themselves that way.
Yeah, because some, I feel like if people knew, I feel like if more people knew, then more people probably make money, because when you upload a song anyway, like you can credit the people, you can credit a producer. So if a producer's actually like put music out there before, they should be able to get that.
Of course, and they will. A lot of producers will. Do you know who I think? Was you going to read something?
I was just going to confirm what you
Oh,
said.
okay.
That producers are paid with a combination of fees and royalties.
Do you know what I think as well should happen if it's not already happening? Designers, yeah. See, like designers, they should make royalties off stuff. The reason why I say that, yeah, I watched a documentary on the flight the other day, and I know that this is an old example, but we could put this into like, maybe I shouldn't say this, but fuck it. But I could say this with like the design that we've got, yeah. Because remember, see the design that we've got for the live show, yeah. The designer ultimately was going to give us. I could have paid him, what was it, 150 or 200 something pound, yeah, for the whole thing, so I could do whatever I wanted with
right,
it.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So we got design for a live show. Calum's
For the
person
flyer.
for the flyer. Yeah, flyer for the live show, and then boom. I was thinking maybe I might use this for other things.
To sell products.
Yeah.
For example.
So that then he said, okay, cool. If you want to do that, it's this much. You give me like two bills, whatever, 250. Anyway, yeah. Wu-Tang. You know Wu-Tang. Have you seen the Wu-Tang logo?
Yeah, I've got a t-shirt with Wu-Tang logo on.
Okay. Wu-Tang.
They get a cut from every sale from that.
Of course. So I'm going to get into a point here. Wu-Tang, absolute legendary rap group, yeah? Like legendary. One of my favorite groups ever in life. RZA got a design, got that Wu-Tang design, yeah? And he paid the designer $400.
No way.
$400.
And
Imagine, yeah, as a designer, yeah,
way.
the designer probably said at the time, like in the 90s or whatever it was,
Everything.
he was like, oh, what, yeah, what, you going to pay me $4 Yeah, come on, what? Bam, let me just
Take
do
that.
this W. What? Bam, Wu-Tang, what? $4? It's lit. I'm going to fucking go and get me a Ross Clark Coke and tracksuit now or whatever the fuck.
Put that in
yeah.
your pocket, mate.
Yeah, boom, it's lit now.
Trust me.
$400 and that, yeah. But when you think about how much that
They made
W
merchandise off
is worth now, if he would have said, you know what, this is what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna charge you $350, maybe even two bills, but I want 5%,
or 10% at max.
yeah, of like just whatever happens with it. I want that.
That's residuals for the rest of your life.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is what I always say. Yeah,
So why can't
sometimes
they do
people.
that?
No, that they can.
You can.
I feel like they should.
You can. Anyone, of course you can.
It's young, or sorry, I shouldn't say young, but like people earlier on in their careers that aren't informed that they
don't know
are
that they can do
entitled
that.
to do
Yeah,
that.
it's true.
They don't know that they can do that, bro.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying, yeah. See, for a lot of
Maybe
people,
they feel like they
don't always look at the fee.
Do you know
Sometimes you got to look at the terms and the pie.
Mm.
If you look at the terms and the pie, you will be able to benefit a lot better than if you just saw just the P. Trust me when I tell you, blood.
I feel like I understand that because I feel like also when you're like maybe it's like up and coming thing, or when you're just trying to get to places, you kind of just take what you're getting. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's true.
Like you see what it is. You're like,
You don't know your
I've never
worth.
actually done that. I've
Yeah.
never actually got this before. You know, so like, boy,
You
let me just.
don't want to rock the boat.
Yeah,
as well.
let me not ruin it. Do you know what I mean? It's like even with me, yeah, I could even say from my perspective as an artist, like doing shows, yeah. For example, it's like as an artist and like you want to get yourself out there, you want to do shows, and people know that. So like for them, giving you an opportunity to do a show, that's the opportunity. Do you know what I'm saying? But it's like, how do you then get to a position where you can say, well, for this show, I want to, like, if I'm going to do 3 songs, you maybe give me, I don't know, £100 a song or whatever. Or do you know what I'm saying? It's like, sometimes
Basically,
people
how do
don't
you
know.
transition from doing
I
something
think
for
it's
free?
when you can bring in value to whatever you're coming
I was
to.
just about to say
You
that.
can pull in a crowd for a
Yes.
show, for example.
Yeah.
Even if it's a couple people, you're definitely in a position to ask for money.
Yes.
Yeah.
But the thing is, because I was about to say that, but also sometimes one, you're not particularly aware that you could do that, and two, for them, sometimes they're not aware that you could do that. Sometimes they just like you and they might just want to do it because maybe they're just a fan of you or whatever it is. Yeah. But 3, sometimes what happens is that like people can feel like they are doing you the favor regardless
this
of
is what I'm
anything.
saying.
So you have to be able to try to differentiate when something is going to be beneficial for you and when it isn't going to be beneficial for you, and be able to just say nah.
Yeah.
Do you get me? I'm not going to do it, but not in a rude way. But yeah, this one's not really going to work.
Yeah, it's
This one's not
worth
going
your
to work. But I had that because as a DJ coming up, I was doing bare things for like cheap or like free, and then it's like, rah, how do I? But then sometimes what happens is a random person hits you. And a random person might just say, oh, what's your fee for X, Y, and Z? And you ain't even got a fee yet.
You have no
That's the
idea.
next thing, though. That is the next thing, though.
That's the
Listen,
one of the
that is
hardest
actually the
things
next
to figure
thing.
out.
Good thing to always say though is, what's your budget?
Yes.
Yeah.
I always say, well, like, what's
I
your
hate when
budget?
They say, oh, well, we don't know.
Yeah, we're just trying to work it
Trying to
out.
figure
Yeah, we're just trying to work it out.
what it costs. Then I'm like, oh.
We're just trying to work it
Yeah, the
out.
numbers
And you're
game.
like,
Who
oh,
can say
okay.
the first number and that?
Yeah, and it's mad because what you might find yourself doing is, yeah, you might say, oh, you'll be reluctant to say a fee. Reluctant. So then you lower that.
Yeah.
Because you're thinking, oh, you know, I don't really want, like, I want to say this,
Again,
but I don't want to rock
Yeah,
the boat.
exactly.
So then you say a fee a bit lower than you really want, and they're like, "What? Amazing!"
They're like, yeah, no.
Yeah, they're like, "Amazing, okay." So
Let's
and
get
you're
you
like,
for 2 nights.
and you're like, "Oh, rah." Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And then you're kind of like, "Oh, rah." They was expecting you to say a lot more. Oh, fuck, man.